Peter Wright looking for that #1 spot come the end of this weekend, and he'd love to do it by lifting the title.
40.
Will be pushed here by Simon Whitlock. And be inspired by
81.
his World Cup teammates' performance in the previous match, demolishing Michael Van Gogh and Damon Heta. He's through to the last 16. Can Whitlock join him?
Well, both Australians, Heta before
60.
and Simon Whitlock here, are wearing a black armband. You can see there on the sleeve of his left arm as they pay their respects to, well, sporting great cricketing legend Shane Warne, who
125.
tragically died yesterday. That's the mark of respect from Heta and from Whitlock.
'93.
Just to let you know, by the way, that on the outside boards, on board 4, Neil Zonneveld and Keane Barry has gone to a deciding leg. Here we're just getting underway.
140.
Whitlock starting brightly here.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is against the darts. Simon Whitlock, who survived last leg drama yesterday, is Mike Kivenhoven. Peter Wright had to find that last treble to leave a finish, but Whitlock first at the finish.
All about the timing, isn't it?
43.
Yeah, that's a bit scrappy from Simon. But I'd like to have laid up a lot better from there, but 128, well, I was going to say not a gimme, it's not happening now. Peter Wright just looking to tidy up. He beat Joe Cullen, remember, one of the standout ties
38.
last night.
112.
2 all Premier League encounters. Michael Van Gogh got rid of Gary Anderson, but Michael Van Gogh gone as well now, so Whitlock looking for double 18 and pinning double 18. That's a tidy finish from Simon Whitlock. That's a break of throw, and particularly after the last visit where he didn't leave it too handy off the 155. A good tidy up. An opening break from the Wizard.
Yeah, beat Wright at the Masters. Was that the tournament that Peter Wright used those, in inverted commas, new darts?
Naughty darts, Stu.
Naughty darts, the bulbous darts. Yesterday, I said I think it was the start of the Premier League that he used them, but it wasn't. I stand corrected. It was at the Masters. I think they're in the bottom of the draw now.
Well, you'd think that, Stu. I spoke to him and said, you've got to leave them in the draw. And he said, no, they'll come out again. They'll come out again.
And big stubborn, isn't it?
Yeah.
Johnny Clayton, 10. Jose de Souza, 1. Well, that is a right old-fashioned shellacking, isn't it? Clayton
140.
on both his games on the outside board. The first one, he was taken to a last leg decider. This one, much easier. Johnny Clayton very much in the mix.
Yeah, Johnny Clayton playing well.
59.
Jose de Souza, the quite opposite. An out of sorts, Jose. Averaging 82, and it's not going to cut it, so Johnny Clayton moves on into the last 16.
As is Keane Barry, winning a thriller in a last leg decider. Barry 10, Neil Zonneveld 9.
And the other game in play on the outside boards.
122.
Sebastian Bieleczki. Just gone 6-3 up on Ian White. Ian White, remember, had that 170 finish against Luke Humphries, but he's given himself work to do here.
140. Simon 120.
Whitlock already taken a 112. 120 for 2-0. Not going to go.
60.
Big year ahead for Simon Whitlock.
68.
He had that renaissance sort of 2 years ago, Stu, didn't he? But he has to defend all that prize money at the back end of the year, so could do with a good run here.
One dart.
James on the second leg.
Nailed on, wasn't it?
Third leg is Peter to throw first.
You may remember, if you're watching yesterday, you will remember Peter Wright only just managed to make the stage for his game against Joe Cullen. He was, for most of the day, in all sorts of pain, suffering from gallstones. The pain's still there. It's eased a bit. he reckons he'll be okay for the weekend, but he was minutes away from
60.
having to scratch from the tournament.
Been handy for Joe. Penny for Joe Cullen's thoughts. His last 3 draws in that round: Peter Wright, Michael Smith and Gedwin Price. So
140.
I'll say it's luck of the draw. Well, certainly hasn't been kind to Joe Cullen. He'll be back in action in Brighton on Thursday.
97.
Yeah, on the same token, if you're good enough, you win.
Exactly, Stu. You've got to beat the big guns at some point to win these events. Unfortunately, your seeding, your ranking doesn't give you that favourable draw here. You can potentially draw anyone. The beauty of the event, and hasn't been generous to Joe, but like I said, he's a top player now. He would have fancied himself to overcome that, but he'll be back.
121.
His conqueror, Peter Wright, looking for the first holder throw in this match. Shell 13, double 16. This is clinical from Peter Wright. Not so much.
Still on for a 13 darter here, Peter Wright.
100.
One more game to come on the main stage. Jamie Hughes against Gedwin Price.
James on the third
Here's the
leg.
first holder throw. Peter Wright leads 2-1. Quick update again on the Bielecki game. That is at an interval now. 7-3. Sebastian Bielecki leads Ian White now.
60.
Just about to start on board 2. The defending champ is back in action. James Wade against Ron Mullenkamp.
140.
Not really getting a mention, James, but he had a real good performance in the Premier League the other night. Didn't back it up, but incredible matchup with Steve Len last night. And James Wade out on that board again, and will start a strong favourite against Ron Mullenkamp.
Yeah, he won't mind being there. Memory serves me from
81.
12 months ago when the tournament, of course, was held in Milton Keynes. I think he was stuck in the outside boards pretty much until the final day, wasn't
96.
Yeah. James Wade knows. He said to me he'll unlikely be on the main board, but if he's on the main board tomorrow, he's doing something right. So James Wade will just go about his business. He did it last year. And so far, so good this year as well.
108.
So far, so good for Peter Wright. Lost the first leg, but looking to take a third consecutive leg, and a bit of daylight between him and the Wizard.
You require 100.
13 points between them in the averages.
Yeah,
that's why Peter Wright leads by 3 legs to 1.
Good leg is Peter to throw first. Game on.
Right. Can he find a 4th consecutive leg? And break after this leg. Whitlock hasn't settled, and despite breaking in the opening leg with that 112, I thought that might allow him to rally in this early session, but it hasn't.
Peter Wright was my pick to win this before a dart was thrown. Normally that means it's a jinx.
100.
You waited till he was 3-1 up with a break to sort of drop that in there, didn't you? Good on you. Good on you. Fair play to you.
82.
He just looks so comfortable, doesn't he? He did against Cullen. All right, Cullen wasn't at his best, but despite being
60
in a certain amount of pain with his gallstones, he still looked very good on the stage.
He always does though, Peter, right? Even in a poor performance, he never looks sort of rattled or snatches. Throw always holds up, but he's looking focused, he's looking comfortable, and the early part of this match going to plan. Had the darts, get a break, getting in at the first. Break 4-1. he'd have set himself that target, and it's looking like he's going to achieve it, and giving Whitlock plenty of work to do when we return if Peter Wright closes out this fifth leg.
And the double 16.
James on the fifth leg.
He took out 100, he's now taken out 101.
His throw in the first leg, quickly went about his business, broke straight back.
Simon to throw first.
4 consecutive legs, and already this is a critical leg for Simon Whitlock. You go a couple of breaks down against Peter Wright, a long, long way back.
60.
Chipping away, and we've talked about the battle for world number 1 the end of this weekend. A few little ranking updates elsewhere. Michael van Gerwen now down to world number 4. And Damon Heta, if he wins his next round match and Simon loses, will become the Australian number 1. Simon Whitlock's pretty much had that all to himself since 2010.
Yeah, for the last decade, I was going to say, absolutely.
100.
Over on the outer boards. Callum Ridds racing into a 4-leg lead over Vincent van der Voort. And that match we talked about earlier, Ian White against Sebastian Bielecki. 8-5 to the pole, so he's 2 legs away. Place in the last 16.
Oh, 121.
He's going about his business. The unerring and erring accuracy of Peter Wright.
140.
Yeah, threatening another breaker throw here and a 5th consecutive leg. Last start from Whitlock, will it be enough?
87.
Peter Wright is in cruise control here. Mind you, he's playing well. Average up above 107. But it just doesn't look that spectacular, Stu, does it? That's what these top players do. They make these averages look relatively easy.
51. Simon Uruguay.
2 darts missed for 5-1. You have to say, for me, he's got to get this just to stay in the match. Got to get this. Magic from the Wizard.
Simon Whitlock.
Could easily, should have been 5-1. The 2 legs he's won. 112 and 120.
Yeah, credit to Simon there. Look at the finishing stats. 50% Peter Wright, 202. 100% Simon Whitlock, and a big shot for Simon. Just stops that little rotty 4 consecutive legs for Peter Wright. Had him in control, but just keeps Whitlock in touch, and unlucky.
140.
Packed in. What's been a great lineup on this main board. Kick things off. Ryan Searle, local boy, beat Dimitri Vandenberg. And Damon Heta doing a real job on Michael van Gerwen, 10-4. Only 4-2 here. Wright versus Simon Whitlock. And still to come, the world number 1, Gedwin Price.
100.
Taking on Jamie Hughes.
Are you involved in ruining everybody's evening by doing the draw?
108.
I am indeed.
Superb from Whitlock. Talk about timing.
One thing you'll always get out of Simon Whitlock is fight. He's done that throughout his career. Been the master of the last sort of 6 years of stopping that slide.
That was fantastic.
124.
What a response to leave tops. He needs a 3rd top plus finish here.
It was a really good shot from Peter Wright. But back to what I was saying, Simon Whitlock digs in. If he thinks he's going to start winding down, he's still got that hunger to perform, and he's going to need it here. 5-2 Peter Wright restores the 3-leg cushion.
Well, Ron Mullenkamp has missed a stack of darts to make it 2-all against James Wade. Hence it's now 3-1 to the defending UK Open champion.
Come back on again for Ian White. 8-7 now, he trails the pole.
58.
At the moment, it really does appear to be a
43.
serene Saturday afternoon stroll at the seaside for Peter Wright.
Whitlock only a break behind. Granted, he is against the darts. We'd have to find a couple of breaks, but you can stay in touch. Get in at the second break, 6-4. With a couple of holes of throw, he will go in minimum 60 with that scoreline. Should hold from here. Good leg from Whitlock. His average creeping up towards 96 now, so improved performance. And he goes for it as well. Like the aggression, he'll be back for 25.
Just loves his darts, just loves playing darts, Simon Whitlock. As you say,
Simon, you require 25.
The hunger is still there. That tungsten torch still shines brightly for the Aussie.
9.
Well, fluff a couple of darts at doubles. Do it when your opponent's on 2-5-3. Whitlock will be in a little bit of pressure when he comes back, but you expect him to convert.
108.
All of a sudden,
Simon, you require 16.
Got to be aggressive, Simon. That is aggressive. 5-3. Good dart from Whitlock. Staying in touch
Game
with Peter Wright.
$80. $41.
5 years ago, Peter Wright won his maiden ranking TV title on this stage, but against Gedwin Price. They're doing battle again. Wouldn't it be a fitting way to end the weekend with them two were in the final?
Yeah.
Another tungsten tussle
with the world #1 spot on the line.
95.
Just mentioning Simon Whitlock, though, we actually laughed and joked. You did a bit of we played Michael Van Gerwen in the match play, Stu, and your prediction was he hasn't beaten Michael Van Gerwen since 1977. Well, from there, he really turned the screw, Simon. He needs that sort of form again. It was 3 consecutive wins against Michael Van Gerwen. And just backing up what we're saying, we were probably guilty of maybe writing Simon off, Stu, but he will dig in and he will keep battling away, so Peter Wright will know
55.
He's got to stay focused and get the job done here.
James Wade is getting the job done, leading 4-1 against Ron Mullenkamp. Mullenkamp 1 out of 12 on the doubles, and he's had chances in every leg.
59.
Hasn't taken them. James Wade will always take his opportunities.
Ron Mullenkamp, he goes down another break there, and you can pretty much ride off his chances in that game. James Wade, a great leader, great front runner, and starts that leg with a 180 as well. Wade in a great position. Peter Wright's here, not as clean cut
58
as the defending champs, but
42.
Slender advantage courtesy of that couple of breaks in the first session.
Games on the ninth leg, Peter Wright.
Clinical from Peter Wright.
I think it's Simon to throw first.
Whitlock not really threatening a break since he actually broke in the opening leg.
81.
Ian White now leading 9-8. Here's the pole. Lindsay Van der Vault's got it all to do. 6-2 down against Callum Ridds.
Bilecki was 7-3 up, wasn't he?
He was, and 8-5. Ian White, credit to him, digging in. He did it against Luke Humphries last night.
96.
Ian White Draw one of the big guns. He got on the big stage that he craves.
108.
Good dance from Peter Wright, and this could be a turning point in the match. It's Peter Wright looking comfortable, but this could be a real insurance policy if he takes this leg.
58.
Very, very impressive.
180.
Effortless from Peter Wright as his average creeps up above 105 and potential 11 dart leg, but importantly a double break and a 4-leg cushion going in to the second break in this match.
PG require 41.
41.73. Hard to find a case for Whitlock to come back from this. He's not really threatening the Peter Wright throw.
9.
Peter Wright a rare miss, and Whitlock not within striking distance.
You say with an 89 average, he's not going to trouble the top players. Peter Wright
96.
has been 102, 103 throughout the match.
Games on the 10th leg.
Coasting, it seems, at UK Open, and these are live pictures from board 2 from Mullenkamp, missing 12 darts at double to gift James Wade a lead, the defending champ, averaging 95 and looking on his way to the last 16. Meanwhile, drama and drama over on board number 4. Sebastian Bielewski, the Pole, playing Ian White. And Bielewski wins it in a deciding leg. He was 7-3 up. White came back to lead at 9-8. So Bielewski winning the last 2 legs. Sensational display from the young Pole to dump Ian White out of the UK Open. Meanwhile, here on the main stage, not as much drama. But Peter Wright doesn't want drama. It's all very comfortable. It's 7-3, and let's be honest, you cannot see way back, can you, for Simon Whitlock, Mark?
It's tough to make a case. 13 points in the averages, and Simon Whitlock broke in the opening leg but hasn't threatened since, and he needs breaks. He needs 3 of them if he's going to turn this tie around. It's all stacked against the wizard, Simon Whitlock, and he's overcome odds in the past, but this would be some turnaround. But his 13th appearance and he's going to have to call on all that UK Open experience to dig himself out of this hole. Peter Wright 3 legs away from the last 16.
If you are just joining us, you missed it earlier, Mark just mentioning, we saw Damon Heffter with one of the best performances of his career beat Michael van Gerwen 10-4 to send the Dutch star packing once again.
59.
He comes up short in a TV event, Michael van Gerwen. If Whitlock loses this and Damon Heffter wins his next game, Damon Heffter will be the #1 Australian darts player in the world. And
91.
I said during the interview, I remember, and I'm going back possibly 5 years here, having a coffee with him in a hotel cafe in Brisbane. Before he'd even played. This is before he'd won. I think the year after he won the Brisbane event. To come over here, to make the choice, to take the gamble and to do as well as he's doing.
41.
Fair play to Damon Heffter.
No, credit to him. And it's really working out for Damon Heffter, making big strides.
57.
And Stu, that you won't put it past him seeing him in that final come Sunday evening, because he's playing well. His average for the year, he's averaging around 100 very consistently. He's going to take some stopping his Dame out, but his Australian teammate doesn't look like he'll be joining him.
$180.
Working fight in Simon Whitlock. Second max of the match.
$134.
Again, Peter Wright just not giving him any time off, Stu, is he? He's just
relentless. Just the pressure, still averaging 100, Peter Wright. 50% on his doubles and
45.
Well, that isn't going to help.
Peter require 94.
Treble 18, I'm sure. We've seen this a lot more now, Stu. The aggressive route, isn't it? Not using the 25s, they're playing the percentages, they're going for it. And look at that dart.
54.
Close. Very close.
100.
Wade 8, Mullenkamp 2, the defending champion, closing in on the last 16. Whitlock here, may look at tops twice. Yep.
40.
Just not happening to Simon Whitlock.
No.
40.
Peter Wright will hopefully, from his point of view, looking at tops once.
Going to come down.
Yeah,
And he is 2 away, and this is cruise control, and it's
Good leg, it's Simon to throw first.
all Peter Wright.
Game on.
And Whitlock broke early, but from there, Peter Wright has dominated, and Simon Whitlock, who averaged around about 87, it's just not going to cut it.
93.
And last we heard, Callan Rydz was 4-0 up on Vincent van der Voort.
One away
4-3.
96.
one away now, Callan Rydz. 9-2, and
Wow.
actually in a position to win the match here. And he has closed that out. Callan Rydz is through,
93.
dominating Vincent van der Voort.
Wow. Well, you remember that fantastic game between Callan Rydz and Nathan Aspinall last night on board 2. Rydz running the decider after Nathan Aspinall missed 4 match darts in that final leg.
I always say you need that slice of luck in these major events, and there's that Callan Rydz's come on leaps and bounds, hasn't he, the last 12 to 18 months.
100.
Could argue the closest Peter Wright came to losing at the World Championship was against Callan Rydz.
$140.
On he goes. More pressure here on Simon Whitlock.
$99.
Let's leave the 116. Whitlock will be under pressure going for the 216. Peter Wright will surely leave this pretty handy. It's all very controlled and comfortable from Peter Wright.
105. Simon, you require
Up
116.
to 25 to leave 100.
But for me, Peter Wright and Gerwyn Price at the moment, the top 2 in the world. Of course they are on
80.
the order of merit, but
You require
the best in the world
100.
when it comes to setting up a finishing shot.
And they don't get edgy when the finishing lines approaches. They just step up to the hockey like it's any other leg. And Peter Wright,
Game shots
clinical
on leg.
again.
Peter Wright.
9-3. Dominant
30
stuff
legs, Peter to throw first.
from Peter.
Game.
And will now throw for a place in the last 16. It's all too comfortable for Peter Wright.
Second time he's taken out 100 in 2 darts.
Very comfortable. James Wade as well, 8-2. He leads Ron Mullenkamp, and he made a good point. That game changed on the 4th leg, didn't it? Ron Mullenkamp missing stacks of darts, and from there, James Wade just doing what he does best.
58.
Getting out in front and looking to advance the last 16. 3-time champion, remember James Wade, and defending champion, so he'll take some stopping as well. Tasty lineup in that last 16 draw tonight.
That draw coming up on the main stage after the last game.
100
Featuring Jamie Hughes and Gerwyn Price. A third 180. It won't make any difference to the outcome of the game.
Bunting and O'Connor
140.
underway as well on the outside boards. Early stages there, Bunting leading 1-0.
$93.
177 is the target.
You called this, June. You have expect him to just do it now, don't you? Or he may go 25.
Yeah, he may go about Surely the 177's a shot.
The way he's playing there, you're
139.
not going to play a percentage when you're
Simon
9-3 up by. And
170.
Whitlock, this was a key feature of his game when he played in the World Championship in 2010, when he had that famous run to the final, and he's hitting it again. We said Simon Whitlock wouldn't go without a fight, and look, it's probably a false storm. Credit Whitlock. Pins the 170. Look at that dart in a bullseye. Couldn't be more central. And we go on.
The beauty of darts.
100.
That was a thing of beauty.
$76.
I don't think it's going to affect the overall outcome. Simon Whitlock just taking something from this match. His finish has been pretty good. 57% 4 from 7, but it's just been limited chances, hasn't it? And 112 or 170.
And a 120.
140.
He's been picking up the scraps.
97.
It's only given him 4 legs.
I feel like I make this point a lot, but when you play these plays, you just can't let them get 2 breaks of throw, Stu, can you? 1 break, you're just about in it against the top level players, but 2.
137.
And you're asking for a massive turnaround. But how about this back-to-backer, Simon? No. It could set up the shot. Good stuff from Whitlock.
PG require 148.
To win it. Well, unlucky. Whitlock will return for double 18.
140. Simon, you require 36.
Back-to-back legs for the first time in the match.
Games from the 14 legs, Simon Whitlock.
And he's given us some. He hasn't given up yet, Simon Whitlock. We may have wrote him off, but he still believes. Still looking comfortable for Peter Wright.
140. $55.
Looks like the end is nigh for Simon Whitlock in the UK Open.
140.
140 from Wright to start off.
Yeah, and that isn't going to help his cause. And a little rally from Simon Whitlock with back-to-back legs, but it's looking like it's coming to an end here. And Peter Wright, it's been all too comfortable for him. But 103 average, 50% on the double is going to take some stopping, and cruising to place in the last 16. Polished performance from Peter Wright.
Well, he hasn't been challenged, has he, in either game, Mark?
He hasn't, no. There's a few little bright moments for Joe Crullen, but it's been so comfortable for Peter Wright, and 11 dart leg, and he'll take a 12.
9.
Oh, he'll be back.
Probably all too easy. But he will be back to wrap this up, and another comfortable win. Beat Cullen by the same score, 10-5. Darts then to beat Whitlock, 10-5.
Game shot.
And he does it.
Man of the match, Peter Wright.
Comfortably, Peter Wright cruises into the last 16. He dominated.